What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Bourbon and Bullshit podcast with some good friends, great drinks, and a little bit of BS. So grab a seat, pour up something neat, and welcome to the show. All right, guys, and we are back. This is part 2 of Bourbon and / here in beautiful Winter Park with Tim and Michael of / I'm in for a treat. So Samir actually hooked me up, as you guys might have heard in the end of part 1. I actually got a mojito brought to the table in real time that I did not order.
Hell yeah, brother.
But it's fucking gorgeous. I almost don't want to drink it. But
you better.
I'm going to fucking drink the shit out of this.
Or I'm going to tell Samir you didn't drink the cocktail.
Oh, my fucking
You bruise the mint. You don't tear the mint, right? So that's a secret. Cuban heritage with mojito production, it's their drink. It's their drink. So do it the right way. Don't throw it in a shaker tin. Don't shake it.
This is the best fucking mojito.
Well, you're not making a fucking South Side, right? Don't shake the shit out of your.
And now
mint.
you've had our rum.
Oh shit,
now you've had our rum. There you go.
This is your in-house rum, right?
Yeah, it's Primark.
Yeah.
Primark. I still want to fucking go thief some later on.
Oh, we will.
Yeah, fucking, I'm excited. But, damn, Samir, you're not fucking a game. I'm about to interview Samir at some point.
No, you don't want to do that.
Oh, that bad.
No, don't tell him. Don't give him compliments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
No,
consistently keep him under.
He kind of thrives off of insults.
Okay.
Hatred. Yeah.
I know people like that.
Yeah.
I know people like constantly need to just be shit on a little bit.
Yeah. Just always shit on constantly.
Yeah.
No,
we're
we
now
give him
full circle
we give him
back to shitting
compliments,
on.
and this is something we've
Part
learned.
1 and part 2 of this show.
Well, it's something we've learned with working with him. It's like he doesn't respond well to compliments. I don't respond well to compliments, so I understand that.
I love compliments.
Michael loves compliments, and I don't. And this is great. This is why our partnership works.
Yeah. I personally thrive off proving people wrong, so compliments don't help me as much.
Right.
As
So
being-
I love that too.
I'm never happy with my work, and I'm always trying to prove an invisible person that doesn't exist wrong.
Yup.
And, even though everybody's like, "Hey, you're doing great. You guys are killing it." I'm like, "Shut up." I'm
Nothing.
like, nothing.
Well, the funny thing
produce
is,
nothing but trash.
Like,
Everybody.
Tim and I from day one, right? Like we still have
exactly what
we just opened up and went right into it. We still haven't sat down and reflected on any of this. We're just what's next?
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
what's next? What do we have to do? We have to fix this. This broke. That needs to get done. We have to get this, in our vat by X date. We have to do this. We have this offsite event we have to go do, improve this with offsite marketing and this partnership that we're working on. And did you follow up with that person? And it's just never
satisfied.
Yeah, no,
Well, it's just never ending.
It's just
The
never
work
ending,
just
and it's never
stops.
Well, yeah, and so that's the other thing too. Everybody's like, "Oh, you must be so happy." And on our opening day here, I was not happy at all because there was 100.
We had a really bad first day.
We had a great first day, but there's a lot of stuff that went
You two have
wrong.
drastically different perceptions of the first
We had
day.
a great first day.
We had some
just had a
issues.
lot of things go wrong, and we had way too many people here. We didn't expect there to be a line out the door for 5 hours. We weren't expecting that, and our plumbing failed, and it was just a nightmare.
Plumbing
But
failed.
Yeah.
Tell me about the first day from beginning to end then. From when you...
do you want me to relive the traumatic, one of the most traumatic days
Yeah,
of
you
my
have
life?
PTSD.
You have that much
I
PTSD from-
was just trying to move on.
Oh, we'll
just
move on,
keep
we'll
talking
move
about. No, we'll talk about my baby trauma. So it all started at the age of 6, where
Too far. Reel it in. Reel it in.
That was a little further than I expected us to go.
No, so we replumbed and invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in infrastructure in this building, replumbed, re-electrical, all the way, past our clean out, and we were like, okay, well that covers it. Clean out gets your wastewater out into the sewer system. We didn't realize that the clean out had collapsed at the connection for the sewer pipe. So we were just backfilling all week through our soft open stress tests that we were doing here with just inviting 100 people here at a time and seeing what happens. We didn't realize that we just had toilet paper backing up, 40 feet, 50 feet into our pipes. So when we had 200 people here on opening day at one time, we did probably 600 covers on opening day alone. But when we had 200 people here on time, like there was no water's not moving because the pipes collapsed. So and it's backfilled with all this toilet paper that's just sitting it's just draining into the ground.
Fucking awesome.
So we had no idea.
Yeah.
The building's 70 years old, so we didn't. You know,
Clue, yeah.
we didn't.
Well,
know.
I mean, you really wouldn't know something like that until it happens.
Yeah.
So you should we should have scoped it.
But I mean, you persevered, and there was a good turnout.
Right. Well, we shut down service for 2 hours on opening day. We got Frank Gay came out here, removed a 7-foot tree root out of our.
It seems to be a big problem in Winter Park because there's a couple of my friends who have businesses and all that.
It's old, man.
Yeah, historic Winter Park. Yeah, it's a whole old neighborhood.
It's old, and we poured a bunch of concrete on a swamp and thought everything would be fine. That's what Florida is. That's what Central Florida is in particular. It's just this is all marshland 150 years ago, and we poured a bunch of concrete and dirt into a swamp and Disney, let's do it here. This is great. This shit's cheap. Where is it? Mosquito County, Florida? Perfect. Is it cheap? Great. Can we pour concrete into the swamp and no one's going to care because it's the 50s and no one cares about environmental impacts? Cool.
Great. I have friends from up north that all the time. It's like, Orlando must be great. It's like, yeah, between hurricanes, humidity, fucking ton of mosquitoes.
Listen, man,
no basements.
Florida's fucking great.
It is.
It's just brutal in July and August
That's
and half
it.
of September. It's brutal.
June a little bit too.
I don't know. I'm all right with June. If you can get out in front of a body of water in June, you're all right.
Yeah, just July and August.
August in particular is.
I mean, let's not forget, September is the hottest month.
September is also.
But last year it
hurricanes.
wasn't.
Historically,
But
it is
last-
the hottest.
Historically, it is, but last year it wasn't. Last year was lovely. Last
thought
summer.
Honestly, my memory doesn't go back that far.
July we
That's
had our
not even
so
a year
July.
ago.
So I don't know what I ate for
So
breakfast.
the
okay?
week we did Wet Hot Rum Summer, the week we did Red Hot Rum Summer, that was a heat wave. It was 99 degrees outside on Wet Hot Rum Summer.
That was brutal, but no one cared.
no one cared.
No one
Everybody
cared.
You get enough alcohol on me, I won't notice.
drinking
the heat.
daiquiris.
No one did. Everyone was drinking daiquiris and whatever, sweating it out.
That's actually. Look, that's actually.
We gave everybody squirt guns too. So if you came here, you got a squirt gun.
You guys
got
are brilliant with what you
T-shirt.
do. You guys are so fucking brilliant.
Well,
with what
it's
you do. And I'm not complimenting.
It
I
is
can't
brilliant.
compliment
Fine
him.
line.
We didn't give them rules, so you
I'm
gotta
not
give
giving
people
Tim
rules.
compliments because he said not to compliment him.
We got to give people rules. We didn't give anybody rules with the squirt guns. Like here's a squirt gun, and
How much
we were,
alcohol?
originally we were going to fill them with daiquiris, and like here's a squirt gun filled with daiquiris. Like that's going to be a sticky nightmare. Don't do that. But then people were doing squirt gun fights inside the tasting room here, and we're like, okay, all right, this is turning into a crazy frat
Actually,
party.
one of them is here right now.
Yeah, one of them sitting at the bar right now.
To do with the R.
Yeah, well, that's he's our good friend Ryan.
Oh, okay.
Now, actually, he is part of Thornhurst. He is the Hearst part of Thornhurst, right?
Okay, what's the Hearst part of Thornhurst?
Bathurst.
Oh, well, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Fucking sense.
So two of our good friends, Chris Thornton, Ryan Bathurst, combined.
Yeah. For
Is
that
Thornhurst.
Yeah. So why were they the
Because there are two best customers, and they've been here since day one.
So you named
And they're good.
a run of a bottle
Yeah.
after your two best customers.
Yeah.
Well, they're good friends, right?
They're really
So
good friends.
When we
That's
originally
awesome. That's not shitty. I think that's fucking fantastic. I'm
Yeah,
jealous.
when we originally
Plus, also,
started this
Thornhurst sounds
company,
awesome.
we wanted. Well, yeah, it sounds really fucking
Really
cool.
fucking-
But when we started this company, it was really about like, and what, to be honest with you, Michael started the Orlando Whiskey Society. It was about finding like-minded people to make friends with people in the bourbon industry and people that were bourbon enthusiasts and to make friends and socialize. And so when we founded the company, it was in that same tenet of belief where, you know, I want to make whiskey to share with friends and to make friends and to build upon that and to kind of showcase what American terroir and production is like and show off distilleries that no one's really ever heard of and kind of be like, oh man, you got to try this crazy shit out of Dane, Wisconsin. You know, like that was the original idea. So when it came for like naming the rye blend, our first unfinished like rye blend that we were going to come out with, their name, Chris Thornton and Ryan Bathurst together, they named themselves Thornhurst. I was like, well, and so Michael
so the
suggested, he's
chat
like,
group that we have, it's labeled Thornhurst. And so, but we didn't tell them.
That's dope.
Of course, it's kind of funny how it came out.
right.
Yeah.
How'd it come out?
So, you know Coming Whiskey on Instagram?
Yes.
So they posted the new from /, and then we messed up and forgot to tell our social media person, hey, by the way, nobody knows the name of this. And so she shared it, and then my phone blew up, and I was like, shit.
Were they? I mean, obviously they were thrilled.
Oh yeah. But we wanted it to be like,
it was going to be a surprise.
Yeah, it was going to be a bigger surprise.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Yeah.
It's actually really cool, and I think being a business owner and all that, you get to have that creativity and have fun with it and give homage to the people.
Yeah,
who
well, I
helped
mean,
you
again, like that's part of the fun of this business, right? Like we can take our jobs really seriously, but the idea too is whiskey's to have fun, man. Open it, drink it, enjoy it. Be with your friends, whoever you enjoy being around. I mean, that's what I think this whole industry is about. Or at least that's what it was founded on. And, we just want to kind of carry on that tradition. Yeah. And if we can name a whiskey, now granted, having said all this, if their last names weren't great,
I mean,
if
they had bad names,
there would be no Thorners.
If it was
100%.
Kevorkian, we're not naming a rye Kevorkian.
You don't want a Kevorkian rye, no matter how good it is. That's not
maybe a vodka.
Could
absinthe.
Absinthe.
Ooh,
absinthe.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Dr. Kevorkian absinthe.
Yeah, that would sell. That would sell.
That would sell on name alone.
He's dead though, right?
Yeah, he died.
Is he dead? Dr. Kevorkian's dead? Did he kill himself? Because that would be the way to go. If he died of natural causes, I'd be very upset.
I'll be underwhelmed.
Well, he went to prison, didn't he?
My memory doesn't go back that far.
Well, and now in Canada, they're like, yeah, we'll do that. We'll just kill a bunch of people in Canada.
Hey, he was right.
Yeah, it turns out this guy was right. We're just going to kill a bunch of people.
So Jack Kevorkian died 83 years old in 2011. Yeah, he'd been dead.
In prison, though? Was he in prison?
I will find out. But
hold, please.
So back to assisted suicide. How did he die? How did he die?
If it's not assisted suicide,
no, it wasn't.
Dude, that's
with kidney problems and pneummonia. Kevorkian died.
That's a letdown.
Condition grew rapidly worse, and he died from a thrombosis. June 3rd, 2011, 8 days after his 83rd birthday.
You don't understand. You have to kill me. I have to be assisted suicide. You have to kill me.
It has to.
I have
to stay on brand.
This podcast has really gone off the rails.
It's me.
Not really. You'd be surprised.
It's me, Dr. Jack. You can call me Dr. J. You don't understand. I need your help to kill myself. If that conversation didn't happen, that's so off brand.
Yeah.
That's a bullshit brand.
It would be really like, I don't believe your brand anymore. If he's just like,
not down with your brand anymore.
Yeah.
These are brutally consistent. A lot of these. This one stands out drastically.
So we just poured. What was this? So we just.
This is the last one. This
There's
is
whiskey in my
78.
glass.
Yeah, a lot of whiskey.
This is 111.4 proof. What does that say? No, this is 111.6 proof.
Okay. That's actually fucking smooth as hell.
Dude, all these are incredible.
Yeah, but when you said that proof, I expected there's going to be some bite. Maybe I've just been drinking
that's
a lot.
90 proof. That's fucking insane.
For anyone who's listening at home who's never been here to /, not only is the mojito fucking fantastic. What was the first drink I had was
Gothic Revival.
Gothic Revival. Their cocktails I've been every time I come here and I try something new on the menu just because I have to experiment. They're incredible.
So the Gothic Revival is a throwback to the first menu I ever opened and the first program I ever ran, which was for a small hospitality company called Marriott International. We opened up an Italian craft cocktail bar concept for them back in 2013. And I had on the opening menu, I had a drink there called the Aged Italia, which was Breckenridge bourbon.
I love that.
With blackberry 30-year-old imported $300 a bottle balsamic vinegar because it was Marriott. They didn't give a fuck. Any kind of food ingredient used in a cocktail was in food costs, not in liquor costs. So as long as my liquor cost was good, I didn't give a shit what my mixers were.
That's fantastic.
So like my executive chef was like, "Yo, try this," and gave me this like insane bottle of real balsamic vinegar is insanely expensive. Like baseline balsamic vinegar is like $60 a bottle here in the United States. Anything that's below that price point is not balsamic vinegar.
What is it?
It's just fucking vinegar done in the balsamic style, but it's not balsamic vinegar.
Yeah, if it's thin and watery.
If it's thin and water, it's 100% not balsamic vinegar. So we use a lot of sherry vinegar here because sherry vinegar ages quite extensively in Spain. Yeah. But the balsamic that we use in this is not this, $250 a bottle stuff. Yeah. It's the domestic stuff that comes out of California, but it's done in the balsamic style, and it is good quality, and it's not cheap. It's $27 a bottle, but so that was. So yeah, it was blood orange juice, blackberry, and balsamic, and Breckenridge. And it was great. It was our number one selling drink. Everybody freaked out over it. It was just a weird combination of flavors. This is before shrubs were a real big thing. Do you remember shrubs?
Yeah, shrubs.
Does everybody remember shrubs?
People still do shrubs, but not as often.
Can they? They can go away though.
Yeah, they should.
Shrub.
I don't really feel like there's much of a difference in shrubs and everything else.
It's not the Great Depression anymore. Like I'm good. Like that's what shrubs came from. Shrub came before pre-refrigeration, like how you would preserve, but it's not. They're very, very vinegary, and it's a very distinct flavor, and it's hard to balance a drink with a shrub.
And shrubs feel gimmicky. Like, they don't really add as much flavor or anything unique enough for me to go through all the trouble of making a shrub.
Shrubs remind me of, like, I've been bartending for 2 years. I want to make a statement on the next menu print. I'm going to use a shrub. And that's what... Gimmicky. Well, I don't know if... maybe gimmicky. Maybe gimmicky's the word.
Yeah, it feels like it's just trying to add allure to something that's
just
really
trying
ready.
to overcomplicate something. It's like, man, you could just like throw some fucking raspberries in that tin and it'd be good, bro.
that 8-hour process. I don't need that.
Vinegar is a real distinct flavor. As long as like vinegar is like the flavor you're going for, then right on, brother. Like absolutely. And I like vinegar in some drinks, but
with your cocktail menu and everything like that, I kind of want to see because I know that you have a very unique liquor license, so there's only certain things you can do in here, right? Correct?
It's everything that we produce here we can put into a beverage, right? So like,
does that complicate things when you're trying to come up with something creative, or is it not as?
No, so I believe you have to have. I'm a big believer in restrictions when it comes to development, and that seems counterintuitive for a lot of people, where it's like, just free flow, but when you have access to a billion ideas, trying to concentrate a billion ideas is difficult. But when someone is like, you can't do this, you have to use this, it has to be like this, and it has to be like that. That really focuses the mind to concentrate on those areas, and how can I manipulate the rules in these areas to create something that I enjoy, but I know my customers will enjoy, because it doesn't boil down to what we like. It's what we think our customers will like on top of that. We have to be happy with it and proud of the product that we're putting out. But at the end of the day, if it's not selling, it's gone. So it doesn't care how good it is or how great it is or whatever. But if the customers are not on board with our mindset when it comes to whatever product we're putting out with, then okay, we kill your babies, throw them out with the bathwater, and move on.
Oh shit.
Just got heavy.
Killing babies. Let's talk about abortion. You want to talk about that?
I mean, that could be a bonus feature.
I mean, we can. I think it's really weird that Alabama is like can't do IVF. That's weird. I don't know if they know what IVF is. I think they think it might be abortion, but it's actually making babies.
It is.
They know it's making babies, right? In Alabama?
It is Alabama.
Do they know that it's making babies? Do they think IVF is also abortion? Because it's the antichrist of abortion.
Is Alabama
it's
the same
using
place
unnatural means.
That's what I was going to say. I think
to have a baby, and that's their issue.
Right, but you guys also put a bunch of fucking microplastics in our food supply, and
so that's fine.
You guys also spray, all of our crops with glyphosate, which really does. God, I don't know how we're going to make people in 20 years if you guys don't stop fucking up our food supply. So, IVF's the way, man.
There's so many things there, Tim. I love the fact that regardless of the medium, you know what you're in your body. So even food, all that. I think that's really, really commendable, man.
You
laughed at it, but I think there's a lot of people who don't know
we
enough.
can go down this rabbit hole. I don't want to, because it annoys the shit out of Michael, because Michael's like, please shut the fuck up. I love Doritos. I don't want to have this conversation.
Well, and also
you can't silently nod.
So it's bad.
Nod on a podcast with microphone.
So it's bad audio, but Michael very much stared right at Tim, nodded, like, "Yep." It came back to the audio side of it.
No, I know.
He looked right at him and was like, "Yeah, you're right."
Too deep into
No.
So I've always
also
worked.
Not all of it is actually backed in facts.
I've always worked at establishments where it was talking about farmers doing things the right way and the appreciation for American agriculture the right way, whether that is regenerative farming or organic farming. For the past 14 years, I've worked at establishments that have celebrated that kind of stuff, and so it's indoctrinated in me what that means. And so, like, the stuff that we do here, we try and work with local farmers.
Michael was talking about that too.
For like our liqueur line that we're launching soon, we got to dial in some stuff. Our lab still is not operating appropriately. We need to purchase a new one. But
We did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Good.
The other one I ditched was
Okay.
a long story.
But the condenser wasn't operating
very-
optimally.
We could do that later.
Yeah.
But,
bore you
right,
with all
so
those
we've
details.
got some Italian liqueur based, like, inspired line of liqueurs that we're coming out with, but we Campari Aperol style, Nonino style.
All right. So like,
But utilizing Florida agriculture when it's in season. So when it was in season, we got 7 different types of citrons here from a farm that's about 30 miles up or 30 minutes up the road called Lake Meadow Naturals, that are predominantly known for their eggs. But Robert, who's Dale's partner, does all of their agriculture for them, and he built a giant, massive, 1,000 square foot greenhouse, and they have an entire 4-acre orchard of citrus across the street from the chicken farm, and they just do cool stuff and grow 7 different types of mint and have allspice growing there and just like all sorts of cool stuff that we like to play around with. And so putting that into like a liqueur line really opens us up to do stuff like Negronis and, I just like drinking Amaro. I like Amaro. After I had a fat meal, like I want Amaro.
I think Amaros are underappreciated. Same thing.
100% underappreciated.
Well, they were
in the US.
overappreciated for 3 years.
It was a trend. It was a trend. It was a
Right?
hot
So they were overappreciated. Pre-pandemic, they were
God,
overappreciated.
everybody had like,
And everybody
there's
came
5
out with an
Amaros in this
Amaro.
cocktail. It's like,
Pandemic
oh
hit. No one gives a flying fuck about any of those boutique-y little. Everybody's like, oh, just Campari. Thank you. Good with Campari.
Yeah.
Like that's really the only one that really kind of Aperol and Campari.
And,
Aperol.
so many amazing Amaros out there that the majority of people
Montenegro, a Nino.
don't know.
Yeah. I
Montenegro
really
is like simple. They need to calm down on the sugar
but-
in the Montenegro.
Yeah, that's
bro.
fair.
All
But
right?
but
Like,
there's, it's a brand that
100%.
100%. But there's a lot of brands that just people don't know.
Hey,
and
here's the
people
funny
don't
thing.
fuck
Chinar has the same amount of bricks as Montenegro. I fuck with Chinar all day long.
Really?
Like that's like it's the same amount of
Chinar?
sweet. It's the
Very
same
sweet.
amount of
with.
sweet.
So like we were having
Yeah.
a conversation
I
the
fuck
other
with
day
Chinar all
about
day
just
long,
even just Campari in general. Like there's still people who shy away from Campari even though it's a regulated.
Well,
name.
Campari has gone from. So I have noticed a massive shift in Campari over the past 15 years.
Yeah.
And they changed their recipe.
Well, they kind of had to.
They changed the recipe.
Unfortunately.
They changed the recipe
Why they
about
have to?
12 years ago. They had to change out their color additive because they used to use cochineal beetles to grind
Yeah.
up and everything for their color
Then
additive.
I think it was
and
a
so-
PETA or somebody like.
PETA blew them up, and then the U.S. government's looking into like not allowing that anymore,
Right.
and it's still on the fence. And so I think it's still allowed now. I think we're going to launch a cochineal one because we've done experiments with beet and strawberries, and it just doesn't hold color unless we put an exorbitant amount of ascorbic acid into it. It doesn't hold the bright red color like cochineal does. So I think we're going to run with that for this first run. I don't think it's something we'll be able to maintain because whatever the U.S. government's going to come out with and be like,
Actually, we have some cochineal powder right over there.
do we?
Yeah, I brought some in.
Oh, did you get some in?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh,
Yeah,
fun.
I found some in my house.
Ew, fun. Good deal. Yeah, but now it's all red dye number 40, which is really, again, really good for making children, really good for babies, really good for your testicles, Arthur. So keep that in mind every time you have a Negroni. I already have my kids, so I'm good. And Michael doesn't want kids, so
I don't
he's
want
good
kids
too.
either,
So we drink
so-
Negronis every
So I
fucking
might
day.
drink-
Give me all the Negronis.
I might drink Negroni specifically to prevent children.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, that's a good ad.
No, man, make babies.
Hey,
Make
guys,
babies,
if you-
not war.
If you're not looking to have children, make sure you have 14 Negronis a week.
Yes.
This podcast is sponsored by the Center for Reproductive
Yeah,
Medicine.
I drink red dye 40 just every morning, a full glass.
You do
This
two
is a
drops
shot in his coffee. His
of
coffee's
shot in
red.
my coffee.
Yeah.
That's a weird.
That's what I do.
How could you get from black to red coffee? You know what? We're not doing that.
Lots of red dye number
Lot-
40, my
that's a
friend.
lot of
Lots of
fucking
it.
red dye 40.
Coffee's clear
Yeah.
when you brew it. Like if you look at coffee,
It's also cool at pea red, right?
Yeah, if you cut, yeah.
Okay, it's nothing to worry about. Awesome.
When you paint
I'm not a medical professional.
That's how you know it's enough.
That makes sense.
That's how you
it's
know
like the litmus test. Okay,
that's how you know
it.
it's working.
Yeah.
That's how you know you're getting all the
cool.
all the toxins out.
Yeah.
Terrible. Listen.
Makes sense.
This one I don't want to. This one's
Just
for
put it
us.
aside.
Yeah,
This
this
one's
one's
for
for
you.
us.
Oh, look
I
at
don't
that.
wanna get that.
We're gonna take a quick break. Just make sure don't drink and drive and all that. Be right back.
Don't
guys.
drink and drive.
Hey guys, while you're listening to the show, we know that you might want to partake in some drinks with us and enjoy in the libations. Here at Bourbon and Bullshit, we ask that you drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. Avoid Amazon one-click buy. And for the love of God, do not text your ex. You do not need that kind of closure. They've moved on. So should you, Joseph. You should stop Facebook stalking. She knows. She knows. Now, all jokes aside, don't do anything dumb. Take care of yourselves and be safe. Thanks, guys. Now back to the show. Hi, guys. We are back. So during the break, we discussed a little bit about this. Apparently, Tim is surprised with Michael doing some secretive stuff. What is this pour that we just had?
Should never
No,
be
so-
surprised.
So all right, so let just high level talking about what our blending process is like here. So the reason why we mentioned this earlier, why people are like, oh, you're like individuals that are more familiar with Scotch whiskey or compare us to Scotch whiskey blenders than they do American blenders, it's because that's how we learned how to blend whiskeys from Scotch whiskey blenders.
Hey, this is yummy.
So we look at it from that perspective. We're not trying to hide anything. We are trying to accentuate and complement, and just in the same philosophy of what a bartender would use in building a balanced cocktail, right? Every ingredient has a purpose. Nothing is overshadowing. Everything is highlighting, and at the end of the day, it's balanced. Yeah. And if the customer doesn't order a second one after they're having it, then it is a bad drink. It could be great. It could be great for one drink. But if you're not going to order it again, in my mind and in our mind, that's not a good beverage.
Yeah,
and that doesn't make it on a menu,
yeah.
right? So the same thing is applied to a whiskey blending and spirits blending just as a whole, right? If it's not something that I want to drink all day, every day, then we're not going to move forward with it. And same thing with Michael. I'm speaking for both of us. I keep saying I and me, but it's us. So when I was on vacation, we had just gotten to a point where our next bourbon blend comes out in late September, and Rhapsody was last September. So every year it's National Bourbon Heritage Month is September. So our plan is to release a bourbon every September. At least that's how we're going to run it for right now. We might change it next year. Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
But
Got to be fluid with it.
if we survive the nuclear holocaust that's coming, then we might change up some things, right?
Into
We
might not be here.
Yeah, we might not be here. If
Stay
we
tuned to bonus
survive,
features.
Election Day, we might change some stuff up for 2025. We had just reached in this point where rules start to get. So in the very
Let me kind of backtrack. So a little bit, the way we blend, this is kind of sound kind of corny, but the reality is we let the whiskey kind of tell us.
corny, like corn.
Wah, wah.
Put 'em pumps. I'll be
So-
here all week. Try the veal.
So we let the whiskey kind of dictate how much should go in a blend, right? So we'll get to a point where we might like a flavor composition, but it might not be fully dialed in yet. And then, like what Tim was saying, rules start to be a little bit more apparent. And what we mean by rules is we'll notice if a whiskey is a backbone whiskey, something that takes on flavors really well, or it's a dominant whiskey and it tends to take over a blend. So once we get to that point in the blending process, we might be like, oh man, we like every time we put more than 22% of X into this blend, that's all I taste. That's all I get.
Okay.
So then we know we establish a rule with that this cannot be more than 21% of a blend.
Okay.
Because otherwise it's just going to taste like that
It's
whiskey.
going to overwhelm it.
Right. And so that then helps dictate future blend tests.
Okay.
Because we'll set rules to that, and then other rules will also show themselves. And then we just kind of follow that trend. So oftentimes when we're blending, we don't really know what the end result's going to be.
You just know your rules.
We just stick to the rules.
Yeah, we know what the whiskey tells us,
and then the
is
whiskey is
okay
going
and
to
what's
tell
not
us
okay.
where it should be.
Because we don't want it to taste in particular like any whiskey. So our goal, right? Because we're transparent and we disclose our sources. Our goal is to create something that is equal or better to what our current producers are putting out. Our whiskey is not cheap.
No.
Our whiskey is, $75 to $85 a bottle. The producers that we source from, their whiskey is not cheap. They are not putting out $20 bottles of whiskey. The whiskey that we're sourcing from them generally retails between $50 to $75 to $80 a bottle, right? So for us, we have to add some kind of a value to that.
Yeah.
And we're proofing too, right? So like at cash strength blending, about once you dial it in and you start figuring out the rules, about 50% of the stuff you throw together is drinkable. It's good. But the other half is not drinkable. The finish is off. It's bitter. It's weird. It's got funkiness in the mid palate. It's too hot. And what our job is to identify the blend recipe that allows for water to get added to it, where it's like, okay, like this drinks lower than 100 proof, right? Like last year, all of our whiskeys that we put out were 100 proof because we were just like, it's a historic proof. Mm-hmm. It's right in the middle. I enjoy drinking whiskeys between 90 to 110. That's my ideal proof that I like enjoying stuff too. Michael typically agrees with that as well. I love cash strength stuff, but I can't do it every day.
It's not something you could just sip on after work.
And I've also found that if I sit down with a bottle of cash strength whiskey, generally I start getting into I get into trouble.
It's happened to us before.
It's happened to us many times.
I mean, I'm sure most of us have a story where we've ended up in trouble because
and that's not saying we're married to the 100 proof, proof point on it, but it also shows that there's a little bit of skill involved because once you start adding water to a blend, shit falls apart real quickly. Mm-hmm. Right around 110, 106, or 107, somewhere in that range, most blends don't survive. The finish drops off. The aroma goes away, the mid palate's gone, the sweetness is gone. Yeah. So the trick is to identify a specific blend recipe that works. Like with Rhapsody is 42% filibuster, 28% J. Henry, 20% MB Roland, and 10% Boulder Spirits. All straight bourbons, 5 to 7 years old. The total, we started at 124 was our proof, I think, when we started that, and we got it down to 100 proof. We did 45 different variations of that blend, and only 2 made it through. We're like, this is good enough for us to bottle, and we chose Rhapsody out of the 2 options that we have. The recipe that we stuck with. That takes months. That takes us months to do that because it's once we these were laid down when I was on vacation. I went on vacation the first week of July, so we're right at that 1 week mark. Mm-hmm. Just over 8 days, 9 days, 10 days, where it's been resting and marrying in glass, where we can get an idea for what it's actually going to taste. Because when you blend it, that ain't what it's going to taste like. You have to let it marry. It has to sit in the marrying vat. So on the production side, we do that for 3 months back there. Yeah. And so we have to bank that out. So we do, it's a month of marrying, a month of proofing, and then a month of resting. In the vat before it goes into bottle, and then we'll do a final cut right before bottling. We'll get it within 1% of where we want it to be, and then we'll add a little bit of water, bottle it. It's done. So Michael's got all these different blend recipes he did while I was on vacation that I'm trying for the first time. So I'm like, what did you do, you dirty bastard?
So Michael, tell us about
what did you do, you dirty little skunk monkey?
I can't call him any of those things.
I would love to talk about what this blend is, but the truth is I don't remember. So I have it's all written down.
It's all
in notes.
No.
It's all in notes.
We're all old school here, so nothing's in a computer. Everything's in our fucking notes. So if our notebooks ever get stolen, we are.
Well, that's not true. I have a digital pen now.
You have a digital pen that translates you.
Are you iPadding it now?
No. I have because I like writing it down, and so we have these notebooks. We both have them, and so it's a digital pen. So when I take a note, I can save it on my phone.
That's dope as hell.
So
we're gonna talk about that
and it's
later.
Because I once left my notebook at Town Bridge. Luckily, they found it and they mailed it to me.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Was that number 9?
Yeah, I like 9.
That 9's pretty. What do you think about number 9? The one you tried in there.
That's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
That was one of the smoothest.
I really like that.
These are all at cask strength, by the way. So these are all at 125, 127, 128, somewhere around there. Yeah, everything. Well, the bourbon that we're putting in, that's a quarter of this, is out of Boulder, Colorado, from Boulder Spirits. That bourbon is 144 in barrel right now, and these are barrel samples that we pulled out. It's 144.
Jesus,
it's 144.
I love that. These
wild.
These do not taste like that hot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are all like 130.
This is fantastic.
This is 126 to 130.
I was telling Michael earlier, I was like, I'm not pretty experienced. Like, I drink. I drink. This is my
drink.
But the challenge comes when we start adding a shit ton of water to it. When we're reducing it by 30%. And the reason why we added water is not listen, we are not buying these barrels what High West is paying MGP for their barrels. What MGP pay, or what High West pays for MGP barrels, or what Bullet or Angel's Envy or any of those guys pay for their barrels, is a quarter of what we pay these guys.
Yeah, they have that buying power too.
They have the buying power, but also we're supporting small independent farmers and distillers, and we want to make sure that they're whole. So we're like, take what you're selling to somebody, right? Like, it's called a freight on board and FOB price. Mm-hmm. Take your FOB price, remove your packaging, remove your labor, remove a little bit out of your marketing budget, because that's what we do here. Is we're a marketing, secondary marketing arm for these brands. You come into our facility, into our tasting room. It's not our barrel heads on the wall, but there's also 9 other barrel heads on the wall from all the other distilleries that we talk about on a daily basis. With
it's in our menu too.
200 customers a night. So
on your label, on your menu.
Everywhere. Yeah.
One of the things I appreciate the most about your brand, and this is straight ASMR. Ooh, that was a fresh crack.
These are all fresh crack. We haven't tasted these.
I haven't tasted it.
I literally blended, but you could hear it.
I literally blended these up, stuck them in the bottles, and I haven't touched them. So I have no idea what any of these taste like.
These are fantastic. This is a great moment for me.
Ooh, this smells good too.
But one of the things I really appreciate about what you guys do is that you're very transparent. I love that. I love the idea that you give credit where it's due. You got these brands, you got these products, you got these barrels from other distilleries. I'm not hiding it. Yeah, I'm like it's almost like paying homage to these brands and all that.
Oh, it's raining. Ooh,
did it start raining?
Oh yeah,
fucking Florida.
Nice, good.
Florida, sunshine and rain at the same time.
As long as the sun doesn't come back now, we are good.
So again, we're in a 1958 block building.
Yeah, everything's hot as shit.
Our roof, and it's 18-foot high ceilings here, right? So in our tasting room. So our roof just gets hot as shit.
Yeah,
we're redoing our roof this year, just because they're like, this roof's like 15 years old. But
yeah, but I do appreciate that you guys. I think that's phenomenal that you give credit where it's due. You hear about blenders like obviously Lux Rose, Blood Oath, Blood Pact, but that's on purpose. So you don't want you knowing where.
Well, Lux Rose is owned by MGP now, right? Mm-hmm. So like, it's not MGP, it's Squibs and Barley or whatever the fuck they're called now. What are they called now? Something in Squibs.
I honestly don't remember.
I'm always going to call them MGP, and I don't know how you can get a rebrand. Like, you rebranded too late in the game. Like, it's crazy.
You're too big to rebrand.
It's like Ryan Gosling. No, it's like Ryan Gosling being like, I want you to call me
Kurt.
Kurt. I want you to call me Kurt Stapleton now. Yeah. That's my name. I'm not Ryan Gosling. And don't ever, or you know what it's more equivalent to? Twitter going, it's fucking X, dude. And it's
never
like,
calling it
bitch,
X.
It's a tweet, and this is Twitter.
It's not. Did you X today?
The only X I know
did you see on X? Like, no
one says that.
The only X's I acknowledge are DM.
DM and XXX, right? Yeah. These are the two. Porn and DMX. Rest in peace, King. Like, rest...
Have you seen the documentary, by the way?
DMX?
Yeah.
No.
It's actually phenomenal.
Is it?
It's actually really,
Do you know, when I was 13 years old, my parents got me a Rough Rider CD explicit. My mom was very angry. My dad got it for me. He got me a Rough Riders. Oh, dude, I fucking burned a hole in that CD.
That was one of the best albums ever. Your dad is a gangster.
Dude, my dad's
for that.
A fucking G.
Yeah,
but like, it was explicit. I was 13 years old. Got me a fucking RR and platinum. No, Rough Riders.
So if you like music,
I do.
Do you like DMX?
I do.
No, I was gonna say hip hop music like that. I don't know what your tastes are.
Yeah.
But
I like sounds. Everything. I like sounds.
Yeah, it sounds like
big sound guy.
There are like 3 universal languages. There's like liquor, music, and food. Like those are the 3 that I really like.
Right.
Lean on. But DMX is one of my favorite artists, and if you ever get a chance to actually see his documentary, it's right before the tail end of his passing. So they're literally because it was supposed to be about his resurgence and coming back into the music industry and all that, and it ends up being documenting his passing. Like everything up into and the struggles with mental health and the struggles with addiction and all that.
That's brutal.
It's brutal because DMX, I'm 40, and DMX was one of the biggest influences. I'm from New York, so that was part of our rap staple and everything.
Right.
So DMX and my dog, hell, I loved pit bulls because of him, shit like that.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And his just
something in your throat.
Dude, I was a huge DMX kid. Dude,
I love the fact that you're.
I
DMX
was that
fan.
white kid in their fucking room next to their bunk bed.
DMX is universal. It doesn't matter what race.
Just rapping to myself
I totally could see this
as a prepubescent boy.
Tim, I don't know where you grew up, but I feel like we would have been best friends coming up.
Grew up in Tampa, dude. I grew up in Detroit and Tampa.
Detroit makes a lot of sense.
I was born in Detroit, and we left Detroit when I was 8, and then came down to Tampa.
That's awesome.
Tampa's also dirty as fuck too, so it was a good transition. I liked it.
I mean, if you visited recently, there's like Smallville areas there that are
Tampa's wonderful. I love Tampa. Tampa's a great spot.
I was in Tampa recently, and the breweries and all that.
Which is one of the reasons why it's like, everybody, when people think about Florida, they think about Miami or Disney World. These are the only two things, right? It's Miami.
So sad.
It's Miami, Disney World. It's like Tampa is great. I feel like Tampa's like a funny joke for people that don't live here. It's like, yeah, we're going to go to Tampa. And like, huh, and like that, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like people that are from New York or from California is like, yeah, we're going to go to Tampa. Like, because it doesn't sound sexy, right? Doesn't sound like Los Angeles or anything like that. But Tampa really has a strong Cuban culture that is unbelievable. Strong cigar culture, strong food and beverage culture that is incredible.
Their breweries are amazing.
Their breweries are so good.
They've leveled up on their cocktails
Tampa Bay
too.
Brewing, Tampa Bay Beer Week is an amazing festival that happens every single
Coppertail
year.
breweries out there, all that. Like, there's a lot of great product coming out of Tampa
Dude,
too.
Night Swim, let's go, dude.
Night Swim is one of my favorite beers.
Night Swim's sick.
I fucking love Night
Night
Swim.
Swim porter is fucking awesome.
One of my personal favorite memories is my fiance being drunk as shit when we got to Coppertail, and they're like, "Oh, we called this still the Nicki Minaj because it's a fat bottom that drops out," and I'm like, and my fiance is like, "Yeah," like she's just all the way hyped, and it was great. I fucking love everything about Tampa.
Is Nikki's ass fake?
Yeah, 100% fake.
Is it
100%
fake?
It's 1,000% fake.
That ruins my time here.
Yeah,
That's all right, guys.
1,000%
I'm
fake.
out. I'm gonna leave.
We got like 3 more questions.
No, I gotta go home, man. That's devastating news for me.
Nikki paid a lot of money for that.
Really?
So it belongs to her because
Oh
she
my
paid
God.
a price. But
Is
yeah.
Rihanna's fake?
No, absolutely the fuck not.
All right,
Everything
cool.
about
Because
Rihanna's
one of my
great.
favorite scenes in all of cinematic history is "Don't Touch My Boom Boom" and "This Is the End" when Rihanna gets slapped by the fucking Michael Cera slaps it.
Yeah,
Michael
and she
Cera in
slaps
that
the
movie.
shit out of him.
Michael Cera in that movie is
You know that
literally
she
shoulda
really
got
slapped him, right?
Should have got an Oscar nomination for that.
She
No,
in real
no,
life slapped him.
because Michael Cera's like, hit me hard.
Yeah.
He's like, I want you to hit me.
He requested. This is did you know this?
No.
So Michael Cera, even in the interview, was talking about. He's like, yeah,
I love Michael Cera.
So
That guy's hilarious.
And this is the end. That blockbuster movie. Wait, Seth Rogen and every. Michael Cera told Rihanna, "Hey, don't fake it. Just slap me." And she's like, "Are you sure?" Like double checking, like damn near consent. And he's like, "Yeah, slap the shit out of me. I need it to be real." So he really hit her on the ass, and that was a real reaction from her going slap. And he's like, "Worth it."
That's amazing. Totally worth it.
Worth it. I would get slapped in the face by Rihanna.
Oh, 100%.
All right. I know we're getting to that time because
100%.
you need this room for the tasting and everything coming up.
Yeah, duty calls.
Right, we got one more whiskey to try here.
One more whiskey. So
There's one more after that.
we're gonna power
There
through.
is one more after this, but
We got. I
power
have
through
about 14 minutes of your time.
Got it. We're good.
Yeah, we're good. So legacy in the industry in mixology. Well, not
Oh,
mixology.
you said the dirty word.
I stopped. I've gone back. In bourbon, in whiskey, and everything, in just the industry in general, and just spirits. Michael, we're going to start with you. It's hard and difficult. Obviously, you've been doing a lot. This has been crazy. This has been a fucking crazy ride for you. What is the legacy that you want to leave? What's next for Forward Slash, and what are you hoping to accomplish?
Well, I
Because
think
you've taken a massive risk too.
Yeah, I mean, we both have. I mean, this wasn't easy to get here, and there's been multiple times where it almost fell apart.
Do we have time for this? I could do this.
No. We're not going to go down that road.
Stay tuned for part the second coming of this. Like, I'm sure I'll have this.
No, but for me, it's really about being creative, and I love. My whole life has been taking chances, right? And so taking a chance to open this distillery, is taking a chance to do it the way we've been doing, but it seems to be resonating with people. And I want to continue our creative journey and see what else is next. So, looking at Krampus, for example, right?
Oh, I fucking love Krampus.
And you're not alone. A lot of people did, but that was taking a massive chance because
Krampus is funny because it is the most divisive thing we've ever created, where
Right.
you either absolutely love it or absolutely hate it.
so
Like,
it's a chance because have you ever heard of a spice rum barrel?
Yeah.
No, you haven't
it's not
because
a
it's
thing.
not a
No.
thing.
Nobody
No,
barrel
it's not-
ages
Nobody's
spice
barrel
rum.
ages
They add
spice
color.
Yeah,
rum.
I was like, I've heard of spice rum. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
no.
People add they typically will add flavoring and additives and all this stuff after the rum is aged.
Yeah.
But we reached out to our good friends at Lugo Distilling down in Lakeland, and they make a great, excellent Puerto Rican style spice rum using only natural ingredients. So I was like, Christian, you should put your spice rum in a barrel and age it. And he was like, why? I was like, because it'd be delicious. No, I just wanted the barrel, but
This really happened? Is this how it happened?
Wait, you were setting him up for your purposes?
and so he did it, and then he used an old Elijah Craig barrel that it was a barrel pick for roasted spirits out in Claremont, and aged in there for a year. And when I found out he did this, I'm like, Christian, like we have to get that barrel. And he was like, yeah, no problem. So he delivered it here, and it's a wild smell. You'll smell the Krampus too here in a second. And
For the record, if you're throwing out barrels ever, I'll take them.
Not yet. We will
not
be
yet.
in the
We
next.
will
we will
eventually.
be,
A lot
like,
of it
next
gets
year.
converted to furniture and like decor and stuff
Just so
for
you
now.
know, because I need it for the studio.
Yeah, you got it.
Right. Well, yeah, I got you.
So-
we got you good. That's good. Don't worry.
So
Want
we
a barrel
blended
stave
this.
wall? We can do that.
We blended this rye, and we're like, all right, well, so in our minds, we're like, man, I bet if we put rye in here, it'll taste like Christmas in a glass. That was our goal. That is exactly what we wanted.
Okay.
But we had no idea because no one's done this, at least that we know of.
Yeah.
So we did it, and as it was sitting in the barrel and we're taking samples, we're like, holy shit. Like, this tastes like the holidays.
Yeah.
Like, this tastes awesome. So we bottled it, and we kind of had the idea of Krampus because it is, like, I think Krampus is such a perfect fit for that whiskey. It's bold, it's aggressive, it's different.
I was going to ask you why you chose Krampus over
That's
Saint
that's
Nick.
why.
Yeah.
That's why. Like, it just fit. The whole idea of Krampus just fit with that whiskey.
Fucking demon, man, that kills your children if they're naughty. This is,
he whips
you know,
them.
you
Yeah,
know?
it's better than fucking cold in your stocking. Like, it's,
Well, and at the same time, like, everybody has. And so, to be honest with you, it was kind of like we were talking about High West earlier. Midsummer Night's Dram is how you became familiar with the brand. We were like, okay, like this is, and that's aged in port casks, and it's delicious.
yeah.
It used to be delicious.
You're right. It's
Last
2 years have not been
I have opinions about what happens when
He has
massive
opinions.
conglomerates take over brands.
100%. I'm not going to lie to you. Act 9, scene whatever, was better than the last 2 runs.
Yeah,
Like-
I just have opinions about that.
Which I have like 6 bottles of because I refuse to like run out.
Well, it's cool. Well, what's brilliant about what they did is they did like Act 3, Scene 2, right? They did these things where you could collect them and age, and it's like, I'm going to get 2 bottles, right? Because I'm going to open one and try it, and then I'm going to save one, and then I can do a vertical later for some friends in 5, 6, 7 years, right? And like, that's fun. That's a lot of fun to be able to
1000%.
have that and kind of taste it. But there's a definite difference between Midsummer Night's Dream 10 years ago and Midsummer Night's Dream now.
100%.
Big difference in quality.
big
1,000%.
Age of stocks that they use. Like, it's kind of like Booker's. I'll compare it to Booker's, right? So Booker's
and Little Book.
I had a 2020 Booker's last night, and it was delicious.
Right. It was also 7 years and 8 months, probably, right?
I honestly didn't remember, but most likely,
the
yeah.
Booker's nows are like six and 10 months.
I feel like
Actually, I think Louis brought the last one was 7 years and 2 months.
That was a wildly different
That was
profile.
a 2024 release of
That was
Booker's.
wildly different.
Holy shit! There's a 7 on Booker's again.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But then I'm just at a liquor store last night, and Jim Beam, which is the exact same mash bill. What Booker's is just normal Jim Beam, right? Just release a cash strength. And it's Jim Beam 7-year. I'm like, oh, this is Booker's, just at 90 proof. And it was $20 a bottle. It was $22 a bottle. It's the promo they were doing on it. And I'm like, is Booker's only popular because it's gas strength? Is it not good? And it's just because it's gas strength? Because I feel like that's real.
I've had a real opinion on Booker's recently, and it was just the fact that it almost feels like brand. I'm buying it because it seems like a... Remember their dirty word? The dirty word of the day is elevated.
Listen to me. When they launched Booker's was revolutionary.
Yeah, and now it's turning
because
into
no one was
something
doing
else.
cast strength whiskey,
When they launched
Booker's
Booker's,
and it was
first.
delicious.
Oh
It was
fucking
phenomenal,
revolutionary. When they launched
Yeah.
and it was $60 a bottle.
When they launched Blanton's,
Single barrel.
a single
Wow, my mic.
barrel?
Speaking.
What is the what the fuck is a single barrel? Oh, it's a fucking snowflake of bourbon.
Yeah.
It has never been done before. So we are not that independent small brand that's going to talk shit about the big brand. We just said our favorite brand is Heaven Hill. That's the largest producer of bourbon in the United States. They're the biggest. That's the fucking Walmart of bourbon.
Yeah, and they bought a lot of brands
And they're
that were famous.
so good.
And they're so good at what they do.
I
won't talk about their tequila.
I want to
or their
establish
vodka,
100%.
or anything else they do.
I do
Their
want to establish
fucking
that.
bourbon is amazing.
I want to establish one thing.
I
I
like
love
any other Heaven Hill brand.
One of the
like
reasons
their
why
tequila.
the tequila is not
Any of
bad.
that.
One of the reasons why I
Want to talk
love
about
Heaven Hill.
Hypnotic? You want to get down on Hypnotic?
No, let's
That's not fair.
let's skip that.
Hey, depending on the area. If you're in Brooklyn right now, New York, maybe Hypnotic.
Can we just talk a second about this blend?
Wait, real quick.
This is good.
We're gonna
You
go back to
you did some
give
magic
me
while I
2
was out of
seconds.
town.
2 seconds. Okay,
2
I'm
seconds.
counting you.
Heaven Hill does great work without compromising taste. That's it.
100%. 100%.
I think that's.
But I think it's also because they're still family owned and they can make decisions quickly.
That 100%. They're not.
And I think
so
that-
fucking
that-
like removed from it.
That really impacts the overall quality of their brand.
1,000,000%. I think that it's crazy. Wow, we are still going, guys. So Heaven Hill. Part of the reason why I love them so much is because they do not compromise that taste. I'm gonna take a quick sip.
So I think they're masters of rebranding products, right?
Yes.
So once demand spiked, they removed the age statement from Elijah Craig.
Jesus, that's delicious. What the? What was this again?
What was what?
The one I just chugged. What
Yeah,
was
this one's
That
this-
was the last
This
one.
was
That was
number
my
10.
favorite.
Yeah,
That was
pretty
fucking
good. That
even
was
with
pretty
it.
good.
Even I just took a
These
shot
are
of it.
all good.
Yeah, they are.
I am.
You're welcome.
You guys. This was damn near just for me, I guess. I'm
Well,
not-
so so the good thing is you're on the tail end because the first few blends we put down were not great.
We're terrible.
you guys said full transparency for any listener that hey, we're trying this for the first time. It might be trash. I have not tasted
We
trash.
have no idea.
I have
we
not
really
tasted
We
trash.
told you, I was like, this is going to be
Yes.
this is most likely going to be trash because
Yeah.
we're in like the third round of blends on this.
They
it doesn't
straight up-
usually come together this
they-
quickly.
It doesn't come together this quickly. Generally
if I'm in
speaking.
good luck charm and you just want to keep bringing me in, I got
Yeah,
you.
but most of, so this is
This might happen. Okay.
So Rhapsody was a high
Give you my
rye
number. You
blend.
can text me like the bat signal.
So Rhapsody was a high rye
Bourbon and bullshit logo.
a high rye
is
bourbon
illuminated.
release, right? 90% of the bourbons that we use, there's only one whiskey that wasn't a high rye bourbon that
Yeah.
we used, and that was 10%. 90% of them were over 20% rye in the content of their mash bill. So it was a high rye bourbon blend. This one we wanted to go the opposite direction and do more wheat and barley, and so all of these are wheated bourbons.
So
With
right
the
in like a well-known
exception
class.
of Boulder Spirits, which is a heavy malted barley bourbon. Their mash bill is 51% corn, 44% malted barley, 5% rye.
Yeah, 44%
44% malted barley.
Scottish
Scottish
So-
Scottish Highland malted barley.
So one of my recently favorite brands, Spirits of French Lick. They have the Solomon brand for the rye with malted finish. It's fucking. It tastes like Whoopers, that candy that you get, theater candy that you get.
What candy?
Yeah, I love candy.
Would you say no? What is it?
Whoppers.
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 Yeah.
I feel like I'm fucking that name up. Whoppers. It tastes like that Whoppers candy where
Yeah,
it's
it's
malted
so
at the
much
finish.
spicier.
So the
This one's
finish,
so much hotter than
the
the other
finish
one.
is so sweet at the end. Every one of the Solomon brand. Spirits of French Lick. I am not going to lie to you. This is not because we're working together. I'm going to order them more often.
Have you tried their apple brandies at all?
No, he told
Okay.
me about it the first time during the
He's
interview.
going to send us down some
Do it.
samples.
He's sending me samples as well.
Okay, cool.
And so I'm
Good. I want to compare your samples to my samples.
I'm
Good.
so excited. Justin and
I don't think I like this blend as much as the.
I don't like this one as much.
I haven't tried
Yeah.
it yet. I will.
Very malty.
Tim, I do want to ask you, what is your legacy and what do you hope to establish? Because I know you got people coming in here soon. I don't want to get
What's
in trouble
the
with Mike.
legacy?
What's the hope? When
You
when
know,
you're all said and
the
done?
hope is gain of function research. No, it's game matching game recognition within the. I just want the respect of. I think blending needs a respectful connotation within our industry. I feel like people need to understand that we have, as long as we have been distilling, we have been blending. And blended whiskey in the United States has gotten a bad rap because the United States defines blended whiskey as 80% vodka, 20% whiskey. That's the definition of blended whiskey. And what we do here is 100% whiskey blended. But there is a multitude of different flavor combinations that you can come up with and have just some of the... You can take mediocre whiskey and turn it into just incredible stuff if you match it with the right mate, if you match it with the right friend to hang out with. I mean, the goal for us is we're not looking to take over the world or take over the industry or anything like that. I would like distribution across the United States. I think that would be fun, but we're never going to be at the spot where we're doing 200,000 cases a year of product or 1 million cases a year of product.
Do you feel if you got to that point, you would lose some of what makes you...
100%. No, that's not our goal.
Yeah,
Our focus has always been quality over quantity.
Quality over quantity. Michael and I
agree with
never, God almighty, if you want to make money, don't get into this business. Michael and I never got into this business to make money.
Podcasting.
We didn't get into this business to make money and to become famous and do all this other kind of stuff. We did in this because it's like, man, it's like, I'm obsessed with this stuff. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. It's a problem. Like if you go to Michael's collection, Michael has the largest collection of compass box on the eastern seaboard of the United States.
Michael, we need to exchange phone numbers.
I mean, I have their tattoo, the muse, on my arm.
I was looking at his tattoos.
Like Michael's obsessed.
I'm obsessed with compass box.
I have over
Our entire business model is based on compass box.
I have just 140 different distilleries at my house inside. When my wife and I bought our house, reason why I fucking love my wife. My wife is the fucking shit. But my wife.
Cheers to our significant others.
Yeah, cheers to wives, dude.
Cheers to wives.
Cheers to wives.
to wives.
So,
But why my wife is so fucking brilliant, and
awesomeness
Michael has this very similar story to this. But why similar story because you didn't build your house when you'd come over to my house. And you guys were still building your house. But, but like Aaron, when we were at our house, is like, this should be the whiskey room. We should set this up like a library and like have like hundreds of bottles of whiskey in here, and like we can sit and listen to records.
Just so you know, his wife doesn't sound anything like that.
She doesn't.
Doesn't sound anything like
Nothing like
this
that.
at all. Sometimes she does do that New York draw thing that like women do, but like it's a funny gimmick that she does. So
She's just being
that's where it
funny.
comes
Yeah.
from it.
And she's great.
Look at my spit cup compared to Michael's spit cup.
One of us is a little
boy.
bit less responsible.
One of us is closing.
Oh shit!
Shit.
I know it's getting to that time. People are probably waiting outside for this.
All right,
room.
let's go thief some of the rum that we've had in barrel for a year.
Let's see if there's any final questions.
Is there any final
one last
questions?
question, because I always ask anyone in the industry this, and then we'll close. So, what's your deathbed cocktail? What would you want for yourself? Hey, this is it, my final moment. What am I having? And what would you give your favorite person in the world as their as your signature? Hey, you
So I
have
remembered only the first part of that. So
Yeah,
I'll answer that.
we're gonna answer the first part
so
first, then you're gonna ask the
Yes.
second part.
So the
Your
first
deathbed
part
cocktail.
would probably be a Negroni.
A Negroni.
both. Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
We
Just a
share
standard
passion.
Negroni.
Well,
It's the only cocktail I drink when I, go
love-
out.
I
Unless
love-
unless
I
I'm
love
at Courtesy or
Negronis.
unless I'm at
Love
some cocktail
Negronis,
bar
yeah.
where I'm like, these guys know their shit.
yeah.
Negroni. All
Negroni.
day, every day.
I won't ever ask who your favorite person is, but what cocktail would you give your favorite person?
Tracy.
Who's Tracy's your wife?
I love Tracy. Tracy Farah at the Courtesy.
Oh, okay. What was your cocktail that you would?
They just recently made a drink for a pop-up they did last week, which had no lime in it, and it tasted like key lime pie, and I was so flabbergasted by it. I ordered 2 of them. I ordered like 5 or 6 cocktails that night, and I couldn't get enough of it. I was flabbergasted by it. It's one of the best cocktails I've had in the past 5 years. It was unfucking believable. And it was for a one night only pop-up.
The cocktails at Courtesy piss me off because every time I'm working or something, and they're like, "Oh, we're doing this pop-up." I have a job,
Dude,
guys. I can't just pop up
so
when
the
you want
pop-up
me
they
to.
did with the beverage director for Cure and
Yeah.
Peychaud's.
Yeah, I
He
saw
came
that.
into town, and
What a cool guy, by the way.
Oh, John's the
Yeah.
fucking
Was he?
man,
I didn't
dude.
get to meet him.
Came in, yeah,
John's
he came in
awesome.
here.
Oh my god!
Tracy
John's
brought him in the next day. What a cool guy.
As someone outside of the
I'm like,
industry
I
looking in, I'm
can't wait till I
jealous.
go to New Orleans again. I am totally going to hitting up
so
that guy to
jealous.
hang out.
He's the best.
He was awesome.
And
I have a business expense card. If
Tracy-
you tell me we're going to New Orleans, I'll go.
Well, Tracy just made this incredibly light but refreshing and booze forward. It was made with Sangani 63, and it made no sense why it tasted the way that it did, and it was everything.
I
I'm
love
looking,
cocktails like
it's
that.
everything I'm looking for in a drink where there's no lime, but all I taste is key lime pie, and it was unbelievable.
That's
it was
always
just
so
it was so fucking great, man.
So fucking unique. When
It
you
was
can
so
get that
good.
flavor
I was
without
just-
actually
I was-
using the.
No, I
actual
was
elements.
angry. I was angry about it, right? So like me as like someone that constantly obsesses over like what can I do that's different and weird and unique but relatable to people. I was like, this is it. And so Tracy's great because Tracy was a line cook, and Tracy was a line cook at Meat House Rat Pig and like that, and he just did pop-ups and that kind of stuff. And then it was like, I'm tired of sweating in a kitchen at 120 degrees, and because if you've ever talked to Tracy will talk your ear off for 2 hours. I mean, he's just the most hospitable. They are the most hospitable bartender in Winter Park by far. That's why they work here on Thursdays.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited we get them for Horror in the Holler.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that?
Oh, I heard that. Yeah.
Horror in the Holler. We're going to talk about that.
Horror in the Holler is the month of October here. We do
Halloween themed the entire
Halloween
month.
themed bar, Halloween
include
themed
cocktails?
menu,
Oh, yeah.
cocktail
Oh, yeah,
menu.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Decor,
Horror movies,
everything.
decor.
Horror movies,
I just-
music.
I wanna
We
hear you in
actually
advance that-
procured an entire selection of music.
I want you to know in advance that you're stuck with me all of
Good,
October.
good. I like
I'll
you.
I'll be here almost all October.
Yeah.
What was the last question you were going to ask?
What was
Deathbed cocktail. You said both Negronis, and just what would be the cocktail you had to give your favorite person?
But what?
Your cocktail, that
Cocktail
you
I would give my
the
favorite
drink or cocktail you would
person.
give your favorite person. Something either specific to a bar, like that's your wife. Like, hey, almost like someone's in town for the first time. And, hey, I'm giving you this.
So I'll take this and I'll let you drum it over because I know you're blanking.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're blanking. So all right. So our espresso martini here is quite popular, to say the least. That is based off a recipe that I used to make my wife every night before we went, like before pre-kids, pre-children, pre-responsibilities. When we go, oh my God, Arab Blomquist, what a fucking
Who is that?
monster. That's a dear friend of ours I haven't seen in 6 months. Sorry everybody, you son of a bitch.
Bring him in. I don't give a shit, but you got shit to do.
No, we're not. So the espresso martini is something I made my wife when we had date night. Because you couldn't get a good espresso martini in town because everybody tries to like, oh, this is like I took Fernet Mentha and I rinsed the glass and I used these cocoa nib bitters that I made and I added it to it and it just adds depth of flavor. Or they used coffee liqueur or they used just. It's like, man, it's a 3-ingredient drink. Okay, it's just like a Negroni, right? And which is why it's upsetting if it kind of like, is this a good bar if I can get in a good Negroni? right? Because it's the simplest drink in the world. It's 3 ingredients, 111. Gin, Campari, sweet vermouth. That's it. You do that.
It's pretty simple.
You do it with an orange
That's not like
Yeah.
it.
Equal
peel
parts.
and not an orange
Done.
slice. You do it with an orange peel.
Yes.
I'm in good company.
Somebody
I
do an
might
orange
order something off your
slice?
menu.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's super
Oh
common.
yeah.
I get mad when I see an orange
No,
slice.
it's super
I
common.
see what
Yeah.
I get mad when I see old fashions muddling orange slices and fucking cherries.
Nope.
Super common. Yeah. So like I don't know. My wife is the person I love most in this world. So yeah, espresso martini. And so the recipe that we have here on the bar is the exact same recipe I would make her every night before we go out.
That's something sweet about that. I want to highlight that a
Well,
little bit
everything
more.
here is hyper personalized and just intimate, and it's just an extension of Michael and I's life.
That's why I love it.
and,
Like honestly, I love the personal
There's nothing
feel.
corporate about this. We don't have big money. We don't have any venture capitalist money behind
definitely
this.
don't.
I wish we had big money.
I wish I had big
We have
money.
no money behind this. Everything you see,
I've sold
feel,
so much plasma for this podcast.
Dude, plasma.
there's
You can
an
make money
idea.
selling plasma,
Hey.
bro.
Hey.
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 This whiskey brought to you by My Plasma.
No,
it's
but like
commercial.
Michael built the bar.
Built this
and-
table.
Built the table that we're sitting at now. Built the
I didn't talk to
table.
you.
Built all
No,
the tables
not
that are
for
in
sale.
there. Built the bar, front of house. Built our back of house bar, which is in our event space, which we can host events up to 70 people in the back. Now we can have full buyouts up to 150 people here at the distillery now because of the event space that we built out. But like so, Michael put a lot of sweat, a lot of blood.
It wasn't that much blood. A little blood.
Little,
blood.
yeah, but little.
There's definitely blood,
Not
but
a
not
lot
a
of
lot.
tears. Almost no tears.
No, there was no tears.
The only time tears happen is when they're like, "Hey, this thing that we told you was going to be 20 grand is now 450 grand."
Yeah, there were
that's the
tears.
only time we
That-
cried about stuff
You
here.
guys taste copper? Is that just me? Burnt toast? Because I feel like I'm.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
yeah, stroke it out over there.
Yeah, you know.
No, I told you, there's many times this thing almost blew up.
Yeah, there's a lot of times
Yeah.
that this didn't. We shouldn't be here right now. So we're
Nope.
That's
we're happy
even
we are,
more
though.
outstanding of how far you
If we walked you through the entire process of getting this place open,
Don't do
you would
it. probably
probably cry.
Don't do
I'm
it.
not an emotional type.
Oh, you'd cry.
Oh shit.
So
You'd
yeah,
cry.
a lot
I'm
of
not either.
like literal blood, sweat, and
Just ask my wife.
tears. The tears were more in private and everything like that, but yeah, I mean, like this for what everything here is hyper handmade and personalized, and it's a different experience for most people. So
All right, guys, we are going close to it. Michael. What would be the cocktail you give your favorite person?
Well,
And
if
we're gonna make it your wife because
yeah, actually, I was because my wife is my favorite person because she's the only one that can tolerate me.
yeah, okay.
What's
All
the
right.
cocktail?
I mean, I see you a lot.
I like you
I
so
tolerate
far.
you quite well.
I just celebrated 20 years of marriage.
Right, that's
I like
20
you
That's
years.
a
so
long
far.
time.
I feel like I can make it at least 5.
Yeah.
We've been. Do you understand? We've been business partners for 5 years. In 2 months, we've been business partners for 5 years. Holy shit.
It's crazy.
I've been
5
jokingly
years.
messing around.
It hasn't
I
really
feel-
actually felt that long.
5 years is not.
But honestly, I'll be serious before
days.
I would not be in business with anyone else.
that's fucking.
We don't always see eye to eye, but like I can trust
You
him.
need to be
I can
challenged.
trust him.
Yeah, that's
I
more important than
never
anything.
ever have to worry about it.
That is more important
Ever.
than anything else.
Ever.
Trust is
Oh, it's 100%.
more important.
Okay.
You could disagree all day, but if you could trust
Trust-
that person across
trust
the
is the
table,
most important
fucking
part.
More important.
When you're getting into business with anyone, you better have trust.
I like my fiance and I tell her all day, every day. I was like, I trust you. You can
Yeah.
yell at me. You can tell me you're mad at me. I don't fucking care about that. That's fine. I will
Right.
accept my L's. But the fact that I can trust you and know that you are doing what's in the best interest of both of us, I will fucking be loyal to you to the day is end.
Yeah. So I would have to say, from my wife, because she has finally come over to the bitter train, Negroni, because that's her favorite cocktail now.
Negroni. Once you're in Negroni, once you're in pool
You have
Negroni,
no
you
idea
never
how long
leave.
that took. She used to hate bitter stuff, and I've always loved. I definitely have more of a European
leave.
palate than an American palate, and so I love bitter things.
So I mean, I think the reason why a Negroni is the move is because once you're in to Negronis, there's no going back.
I really think
You
it
don't-
opens up
you
your
don't-
eyes to so many more things. You like bitter things. You like sweet things. You like complex things.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just like with, and I know we're wrapping up here, but it's the same thing with like peated whiskey, right?
Yeah.
If you can get over the fact of the smoky and the peated and all this other stuff, you're able to dive into a deeper, richer, more complex
Yeah.
spirit.
Right.
Same thing with bitter.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things you can pick up in Amari after you get past the bitterness.
I 100% agree. I think there's these nuances and flavor profiles that you get when you finally accepting of those different things. Not everything's just sugar and fucking alcohol.
I mean, sugar masks problems.
Yes, that 1,000%. I completely agree. I think that sugar is used to almost like cover bad.
Look at
spirits.
every popular rum brand in the world.
Yeah, sugar. But there's some. I love Brugal. I can't ever shit on Brugal. Like,
No, I like Brugal. Really, like honestly, I do like it. I think as far as
but I get what you're saying though. Like, there's a certain level. Like when you start making flavored rums, flavored whiskeys, flavored everything, it's a mask. I will joke about it. You don't have to.
I want a
I will
zero
joke about it 'cause
dosage, no color added. I want a natural DR rum.
that's what I want.
I want some pride of DR. Like I want you. Like I
will work on it.
I feel like Brugal being one of the largest producers out of Dominican Republic has I hope they don't hear this because I don't want to piss them off, but I think they have a responsibility as one of the producers there to represent the island and its culture best. And I think in like what you said, it was comedy, food, and drinks, right?
Yeah.
It's like music,
Music,
food, and drinks is the common denominator.
Comedy would be four. Yeah,
between humans.
Yeah.
It's not on state to state or country to country. It's human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you can have a rum out of DR that you did not alter to make it more quote unquote marketable, and it's like, this is what we do, man. This is what it really is. This is the down and dirty. This is the AKA raw cask. Raw cask. Hashtag allocated. Hashtag go to liquor store when we release. Stay tuned because we're gonna release that liquor store that I think we pick. I think I know what they're gonna pick because we tasted all those. Do you understand? You tasted 10 cash strength whiskeys.
1,000%. I feel it.
Plus a mojito, plus a Gothic revival at the very beginning. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Is everything okay?
I'm a part-time drinker, full-time HR.
We have to go to work.
I have to go to basically work after this.
No, you don't. You have to go home.
No, I have a party I have to go to.
That's not work.
That's you just said I have to go to a party.
Depends.
Are you DJing
That's
the
true.
party?
Okay, hold on. No. Okay, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, that's a whole
I know
nother
what he's
topic.
talking
Yeah,
about. Gotcha.
You have to
All
be
right.
entertaining.
Yeah,
You have to be
yeah,
bartender.
yeah.
You have to be fun.
Yeah.
It feels like work.
Yeah.
We can talk about that completely off air because I could.
Let's do that.
Yeah. So because I know you guys have to wrap up.
I want to go thief some aged rum
Guys, you good?
and let's GO.
Listeners, you don't get to enjoy what I'm about to enjoy, but I promise you that I'll take some pictures and put some stuff up if you guys are okay with it. You guys cool with me taking pictures?
don't care.
We're 100%.
We don't care.
Dude,
1,000%.
authenticity through transparency.
Always transparent.
Yeah.
So, closing words. Tell me, each one of you, kind of a shout out, whatever you want to do, where they can find you, social media, not socials. I don't want your numbers. I'll run your credit.
Funny story about that, actually.
850 no. Drink forward slash
Yeah.
.com.
Uh-huh.
Also drink forward slash. You got to spell it out. FORWARDSLASH on Instagram. Drink forward slash on Instagram and Facebook. That's it. .com. We do need to do like the creditreport.com dudes.
Yeah.
Like, well, I was shopping for a new car. Which one's me? A cool convertible or an SUV? You know those songs? You know what I'm talking
Yes.
about?
You need a catchy
We do need
jingle.
a catchy
You need a
jingle
jingle.
for our website.
You need a jingle.
But yeah, it's drink forward slash.com and then drink forward slash on Instagram.
Right. Do you want to share your personal Instagrams or? You want,
No, my personal Instagram is dog shit. You don't want to follow it. So.
Just go to Michael Buffa.
Yeah,
At-
Michael's pretty active on
Very
socials.
active on social.
I'm
At Michael
not
Buffa.
active at all.
Hi guys,
I love Instagram.
I love Instagram. It's actually pretty funny. Guys, we're wrapping up. They have people waiting outside. I'm not going to leave you guys waiting too long, but obviously at Bourbon and Bullshit, at Bourbon_and_BS, because Instagram doesn't let me curse. We have to monetize because I'm broke and we have to make sure that we make some money off this.
We're all broke, really.
The Patreon, everything will be in the show notes, guys. If you like what you're listening to.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, OnlyFans for feet and bourbon. It'll be a whiskey glass right next to the big toe. I can't believe I said that out loud. We're going to go thieve some rum. So if you are enjoying what you're listening to, make sure you like, subscribe, share on socials. TikToks and everything are blowing up for some fucking crazy reason. Everyone wants to get drunk with me. But that's it, guys. Stay tuned for next week's episode and completely continue to support local. Orlando has so many drink spots. / Sin Nombre, one of the best agave spirits.
If you support us on a local basis, we support 15 other, quote unquote local producers. I mean, actually, if you come here, you support 27 different local businesses. They might be here in Orlando, but they might be in other what is
Florida's fine.
Well, what is local?
Florida.
So the whole drink local, support local movement is about small business, right? And so our entire business model here is based upon supporting small businesses in small towns across the United States.
1,000%. I think that
just pull his plug.
If you really want to make a big impact,
guys,
come grab a gin and tonic.
Grab a gin and tonic. Grab a mojito remind me of the bartender's name.
Stop talking.
Ask for Samir and grab a mojito.
Stop talking.
Guys, people are waiting for us. So we got to go, but ask for Samir. Ask for mojito. Tell him that Bourbon and Bullshit sent you. We will be back next week with more support local. Love you guys. Don't drink and drive. Don't text your ex. Avoid Amazon one-click buy and be fucking responsible, you assholes. Love you guys. Bye. Hey guys, today's episode is brought to you by Burn, Termite, and Pest Control. I first met Joe Byrne on Full Frontal Nerdy Show and decided to give his company a try. They have been the best pest service I've ever had. From flexible scheduling, attention to detail, fair pricing, and everything you love about a small business, I highly recommend Joe Byrne and Burn, Termite, and Pest Control. It's a family-owned and operated business with over 30 years of experience in termite and pest. You can reach Burn, Termite, and Pest Control at 321-297-7985. Once again, 321-297-7985. And let them know Bourbon and Bullshit sent you. Thanks, guys. See you next time.